morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we've got fairly gigantic news about a new mini set which is coming out in the Pokémon TCG. Think Pokémon Card 151, think Paldean Fates, don't think Shrouded Fable. Don't want to be rude here. This is not going to be Shrouded Fable. Now, we don't have a huge amount of information about the specifics here, but we know enough that I can tell you a lot of interesting things, including something which is going to be very important to anyone that plays the game. We have a release date of the 17th of January, and we have a note that it is Scarlet and Violet 8.5. Which shouldn't really surprise anyone, honestly, because Scarlet and Violet 8 is obviously the upcoming Surging Sparks. That's coming out in November. Our next set after that will be February-March time. It's traditionally been February, but recent years it's been more March. But whenever it is, it's going to be after this next set. So this is actually the next set that's coming after Surging Sparks. And why is it not going to be Shrouded Fable? Because Shrouded Fable was a different kind of mini set. Shrouded Fable was not actually a special Japanese set that was released in English as a special English set. It was a regular set, Night Wanderer, very much the same as, for instance, Paradise Dragona, that we took and released as our own special set, that we essentially did because we wanted something, well, this is my prediction, I can't guarantee 100%, but because we wanted something legal for Worlds. So they went and released a Japanese mini set, just a regular mini set, as a special set for us, purely so that it would become legal on day one of Worlds and impact the metagame a little bit. And to be fair, you look at Shrouded Fable and it had cards in there like Dust Noir, for instance, like Nighttime Academy, like Kyurem, and it did have a bit of an impact. Not a huge impact, but enough that people were changing up their lists and things were a little bit different, and we saw these cards popping up all over the stream. It was kind of cool. That's not this. This is a regular special set, and we kind of know a little bit what it's going to be. It is basically going to be Paldean Fates. How can I be so sure this is basically going to be Paldean Fates? By the way, when I say Paldean Fates, I mean that kind of thing. I'm not saying shiny Pokemon. We don't know if there's going to be shiny Pokemon, let's be perfectly clear. But it's going to be that kind of thing, because it's essentially the equivalent of the Japanese end-of-year set. So at the end of last year, Japan had Shiny Treasures EX. That was their end-of-year special set, 4A, which we then got as our special set, which of course was Paldean Fates. Well, at the end of this year, we know Japan's going to get a special set, which is going to be Terrestrial Festival. We always get these special sets as, well, special sets, in the same way we got Shiny Treasures EX as Paldean Fates. So it would make sense that we would get this as a special set, blah, blah, blah. Same kind of thing. We have had some products confirmed. I'll talk about that in a second. But I want to talk about the release date of the 17th of January. This shouldn't surprise anyone, because if we go and have a look at the dates of big upcoming Pokemon Championships, what do we find? Well, the European International Championships is happening on the 21st of February. Now, interestingly enough, that is actually not exactly 2 weeks after the release of this set. I know, it's actually 5 weeks after the release of the set, but it gives us a set to have for then. That will be the first big tournament where this is actually legal. If we have a look at the North American regional dates, you will notice that there's nothing in January or February. They're essentially making room for EUIC. If you have a look at the European dates, there is actually a regional the weekend that this special set releases, but we got to wait a couple of weeks for it to actually become legal. Over in Latin America, there is a regional in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Although actually they do have and this is very interesting to me because I was not expecting this. They do have a regional in Merida in Mexico the weekend before EUIC where this will actually be legal. So EUIC is not the first one it's been legal, but it will be the first streamed one. Remember, North American and European regionals get the official streams. Latin American regionals, as it stands, do not. So there is actually going to be one event before EUIC, which is going to be very instructive for how much of an impact this set might actually have. But we know Pokemon like doing this. Last year at EUIC, we saw Temporal Forces became legal on day one of EUIC. The year before, so that was EUIC 2023, we saw that Scarlet and Violet Base became legal on the first day of EUIC. And we're not getting that again. And to be clear, with EUIC being in February, the chances of getting a main set be legal for the first time at EUIC became not zero, but very, very, very slim. We'd have to have an early February set in a world where, remember, we've actually been having March sets the past couple of years. But then again, there is a strong argument that actually the reason we've been having March sets rather than February sets is so that they can have a set becoming legal on day one of EUIC. Here, we're not going to have that. So essentially, it seems like, and again, this is all speculation, all we've seen at the moment is some product listings, but it seems highly, highly probable that essentially what's happening here is Pokemon are releasing this set in the middle of January so that we've got something coming along for EUIC. Although, like I've said, we do have that regional in Mexico on the 8th and 9th of February, which is going to give us some information about the metagame. Again, there is an argument that essentially because it's not streamed, maybe that's not such a big issue, but certainly there's none in North America or Europe. Although annoyingly, I'm obviously going to be at Birmingham Regionals. I can drive to it. So whether I'm casting or playing or just going to hang out, I'm definitely going to be at Birmingham Regionals in some capacity or another because I can literally drive to it. It's going to be annoying being at a regional the weekend a new special set comes out. That's going to be low-key super annoying. It's not going to stop me going to Birmingham Regionals, but it is a little bit annoying. I'd much prefer it if Birmingham Regionals was the weekend before or the weekend after. But apparently Pokemon don't plan their set releases around my plans, which is frankly weird at this point. So what have we seen? Well, we've seen some products, and I can tell you what they are, but I have to use images of old sets because we don't have images of this new set. We're getting a poster collection like the one from 151. Free booster packs, free promo cards, a poster and a code card, which at this stage it's exactly like the poster collection from 151, basically exactly the same product. That also had free booster packs, free promo cards, and a poster and a code card. So expect it to be exactly the same kind of product. For what it's worth, 151, they gave these promos out in other ways, but expect these to be promos aside from the main set, maybe even promos that Japan gets that we get here instead. If you want a quick reminder as to what that poster looked like, here's the front. You'll notice it's got the whole 151 Pokemon on. And then here is the other side, which actually showed the artwork of all of the cards, but the EXs actually shows you the entire card. Only Pokemon, not trainer cards. Even though there's blatantly some space there for trainer cards at the bottom, let's not ask any questions. So expect it to be pretty much exactly like that. All of these products, by the way, are listed for the 17th of January. Do remember that these special sets often have staggered release dates, so don't expect these to be the only products. However, it is quite likely they're the only ones on the 17th of January, and then we'll get other products down the line a bit later. We're getting Elite Trainer Box. Now, here's the deal. The only one we've seen listed is the regular Elite Trainer Box, but that's what we would always have. Yes, there is going to be a Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer Box, obviously, but that never gets listed on any of these sites. because it's only sold through the Pokemon Center. So we don't need any listings of these going up on other websites. They're only sold at the Pokemon Center, and Pokemon Center's not going to put random listings out there. Why would they need to? That, frankly, doesn't make very much sense. Okay, cool. So you're going to get the usual thing in there. You're going to get yourself 9 booster packs, 11 for the Pokemon Center exclusive, a promo, but a second stamped version for the Pokemon Center exclusive, 65 sleeves, a player's guide, rules reference, damage counters, coin flip die or damage counter dice, condition markers, collector's box with dividers, etc. The listing actually says damage counters. They're going to be dice. They're always dice. Yeah, come on. They're definitely going to be dice. And then there's going to be a binder collection with 5 booster packs and a 9 pocket album, which sounds an awful lot like the binder collection we got for Scarlet and Violet 151. What I will say is I like this binder. I found a shop that was selling off these binders and bought like 10 of them because they're actually really, really nice. Fun little side note, the 151 had 4 boosters and the binder. This has got 5 boosters and the binder. Usually what this means, and let's be clear, this is pure speculation, but usually this means they're putting the price up. So you put it up by like $4 or $5, you include an extra booster pack, and you're raising the price to account for things like inflation, while softening the blow by adding an extra booster pack, which doesn't quite cover the increase in price, but does cover the increase in price enough that people don't get mad. But that's what I would expect to see coming in here. And then we've got ourselves 3 tech sticker collections, which we didn't have for 151, but we did have for Paldean Fates. And essentially what these are is 3 booster packs, a promo, and a sticker. And yes, do expect the sticker to match the promo card. Obviously, that's kind of the point here. And these actually were, for Paldean Fates, these were shiny cards that were just taken out of the set to be used here. These weren't separate promos. Tech sticker, by the way, is because basically the stickers are big and will fit on tech like iPads and laptops and things of that nature. And we can talk about the products. We can talk about the release date and the relevance thereof. We can talk about how I know this is basically going to be Terrestrial Festival. But we don't know what Terrestrial Festival is. Maybe it's shiny Pokemon. Maybe it's a whole bunch of illustration rares or character rares, or we don't know. You know that the second we have any information about this, I will be there for you. That's the kind of thing that I do. But for now, I've told you what I know. I've speculated about what I can. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of this stuff. Give me your predictions, your thoughts, your feelings, your wishes, and everything else in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Quinton Janot, who's one of our newer patrons and is a very lovely person. So shout-out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.